Hello there folks, my name is Spoonks and welcome back to another episode of Box Office Chat. This is the show where I break down the top 5 domestic box office results, see where each movie landed, and see how well each movie did. So let's get started. Number 5 was Evil Dead Burn, making $4.7 million this weekend, adding to a domestic total of $23 million and a worldwide total of $50 million. Goodness, this movie fell off this weekend. I was expecting a much better hold, it's the only major horror movie out right now and it was well received by people, so I thought maybe it could leg out similar to the first film, but no, there's just no interest for this. It seems, I guess everybody just who was interested wanted to check it out that first weekend. It fell 65% this weekend. That's a really steep drop off. It's not a total money loser given that it was $20 million to make. It's already doubled that worldwide, but considering how strong that last movie did, and again being the only horror movie out right now, you'd think this would benefit the most from counter programming, but I guess it just really got lost in the shuffle of the sea of other big blockbusters. So yeah, really disappointing numbers for Evil Dead Burn. The next one is already being in the works, and again it was a cheap movie to make, so not the biggest money loser out there, but yeah, these are still not what they were hoping for with this movie. Number 4 was Minions and Monsters, making $13.6 million this weekend, bringing its domestic total to $136 million and a worldwide total of $358 million. Minions seems to really be bouncing back after its disappointing opening. It's recovering a lot with these strong family movie hold, with a 36% drop off from last weekend. Really solid stuff. I think it's finally really benefiting from the strong reception it's gotten from people outside the target fan base, plus the fact that I think more families were able to go and give it a chance now that it's been out for a while. It doesn't have to worry about any other family movies until Paw Patrol, and in terms of other Illumination films, it has surpassed Migration. It's on its way to surpassing The Secret Life of Pets 2, and I think it's going to get to Sing 2's numbers, and worldwide it's definitely getting to $400 million globally, which on an $85 million budget is a swell number to be at. So yeah, this movie's still successful, it's still making money. It's just such a shame that it couldn't replicate the success that the other movies were able to. Again, this is still going to be seen as a massive drop off for the franchise, but I mean, this movie still does prove that people will go out and see these movies. Again, it's been holding really well, and again, they keep making these movies for a reasonable price, so these movies will still be money makers. It's just that, again, it's coming off of a franchise that had such a high success rate that even when this one is still going to be successful, it's going to be seen as a bit of a disappointment. Still a successful movie on its own, but compared to the others, yeah, it leaves a bit to be desired. Number 3 was Toy Story 5, making $13.7 million this weekend, adding to a domestic total of $429 million and a worldwide total of $957 million. Toy Story really did put up a good fight against Minions. In fact, before the actuals came out, they were both pretty much tied for third place, but Toy Story was able to edge out Minions, which is really impressive to see. Again, that movie has been out for much longer, and you would assume that most people had gotten their filling with it, but no, it's still bringing people to the theater with another stellar drop-off, 22%. I think we're going to start seeing that Zootopia 2, Moana 2 late stage bump that really boosted those movies to the heights we saw for them. And what's interesting is that those movies got the bump from the holidays. This is doing it later in the summer. Kids are about to get ready to go back to school. There's a lot more bigger competition, and the movie's still bringing people to the theater. Again, like I said, this has really solidified itself as the must-see family movie of the summer. It is also the must-see movie of the year overall. It has finally surpassed the Super Mario Galaxy movie to be the biggest film of the year domestically, and it's about to surpass Toy Story 4's domestic total to become the biggest film in the franchise, and it's also going to surpass those milestones worldwide as it's on its way to $1 billion. Again, Toy Story 5 is not slowing down. It continues to really pull in some strong numbers. Number 2 was Moana, making $17 million this weekend, adding to a domestic total of $81 million and a worldwide total of $177 million. So this movie faced a steep drop-off this weekend, especially for a family film, 58%. That is not what they were hoping for this movie. I think there was some hope that maybe like Minions, it would rebound and do a bit better. I mean, the audience reception didn't seem like terrible, like as terrible as the critic reception was, and there's not much other family movies out again until Paw Patrol, so again, maybe it would rebound with those family movie legs, but it just doesn't seem to be the case. Again, there was a big movie that stole a lot of the PLFs from it, and again, it was the third family movie in 4 weeks. You were stretching families thin, and I think it's safe to say that many family moviegoers got their fill with Toy Story and Minions prior, and so this movie just suffered from just coming out last, and again, just the interest wasn't there, and the word of mouth does not seem to be doing the thing it's supposed to be doing, benefiting this movie. And it also doesn't help that, again, this was ridiculously expensive. Again, I don't understand why they thought $250 million was the right price tag, but clearly it's not. It's probably gonna make that back worldwide, but again, you need to at least double that to be a success, and only making that back is just not gonna cut it for this movie. So yes, Moana's still facing rough waters at the box office. I'm not sure if it's gonna be able to really bounce back or recover from this. And finally, let's end the video off with the number 1 movie of the weekend, which was The Odyssey, opening with $123 million this weekend domestically and $263 million worldwide. Let's break this down. This is the second biggest opening of the summer. It topped Mandalorian and Grogu, Backrooms, and The Devil Wears Prada 2, but still sits behind Toy Story 5. It's the third biggest opening of the year overall, topping Michael and The Mandalorian and Grogu, but still sitting behind the Super Mario Galaxy movie and Toy Story 5. It's Christopher Nolan's third biggest opening ever, topping Oppenheimer and Inception, but still sitting behind The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises, and the fourth biggest opening for an R-rated movie ever. It topped it, but sits behind the 3 Deadpool movies. Christopher Nolan did it, baby. Not only did he deliver on making a great movie, but a genuine box office hit. I think pretty much his involvement on this, the fact that it's his retelling of the Odyssey, was the easiest selling point to everyone. Like, what, really? That's his next movie? He's going to tackle the Odyssey? Is he going to be able to pull that off? And that was just kind of the buzz and the hype and the conversation around this movie for a while. Like, will he be able to do it? Can he pull off telling a story this big, this grand? And hey, sure enough, it seems like he did it. As someone who did see the movie, I can definitely say that he did it, but that's not what this is about. It's about what everybody else feels, and fortunately everybody else feels the same way I did. Critics are loving this movie. It's sitting at 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, and audiences also really loving it. It's had an A on Cinema Score, on par with his last movie, Oppenheimer. And in terms of other summer movies, it's the first major summer blockbuster to score this high since Toy Story 5. I know some other smaller movies like The Furious and Young Washington also got A's, but we're talking about specifically like big budget blockbusters, and this is the first one to do that in a month. So this definitely bodes well for its legs, even with a certain web-slinging superhero on the horizon. The fact that August is looking a bit dry, I think, is going to really benefit this movie. Again, the response to this has been so positive. Again, the hype was there. I think the marketing really did deliver on selling this movie well, and again, just his involvement, that again, this is his version of the Odyssey, was the best selling point to really get people curious about this, even with this being one of the more expensive movies this summer. $250 million budget, it's already made that back, and it's pulling in strong numbers all over the world, again, evident by the strong worldwide numbers. So this is really gonna be the blockbuster we were hoping for oh so long, since Toy Story 5. I really think this is gonna challenge that, maybe not for the biggest movie of the summer, but rival it in terms of box office numbers for sure. I think this is going to be a really strong performer as we head to the dog days of summer. So yeah, again, just an excellent start for the Odyssey. Can't wait to see how much further this movie goes. Absolutely crushed it this weekend. And those were your top 5 domestic box office results for this weekend, and normally this would be the part of the video where I discuss the upcoming new wide releases and seeing where they would land in the top 5, but to my knowledge there isn't anything really major coming out this weekend. I guess the studios decided to skip out on this weekend, so there may not be a box office chat next weekend if the box office remains the same. But if there is a movie that does sneak into the top 5 and shakes things up, we'll discuss how well that movie does, as well as the rest of the movies that land in the top 5 on the next box office chat. And that's going to do it for this week's episode of Box Office Chat. What did you all think of the results? Were you satisfied, unsatisfied? Comment down below and let me know. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like this channel, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on all the social media links right there. And until next time, everyone, stay sharp.